Hi everyone, and welcome back to Maths and Physics with Mr. Simons. Today's grade 11 lesson on analytical geometry. We're looking at November 2024, question 3. Right. So, in the diagram below, triangle ACD there given as vertices A, D, and C, where A is a point in the second quadrant and B lies on the side DC. So they want us to calculate the gradient of DC. So I have two coordinates. I should be able to calculate the gradient. Equation of DC. So I get the gradient from there. I just need to find the y-intercept. So C is there. So we'll substitute a point in one of the two to get C. Show that K equal -6. So if I have the equation of that line, I can substitute -1 in the equation and get the y value. Then they want the length of DC, so DC, distance formula, use that, we can get that. Ratio of dB over DC, so there we should be able to find the value of dB in relation to the value of DC, and then just put them over each other. If M is a point on AD such that AC is parallel to MB, so somewhere there's a point there that would cause us to have parallel line to that one, calculate the ratio of area triangle MBD over area triangle ACD. 3.7 is further given that the gradient of AD is -4 and the length of AD is square root 612 units. Calculate the coordinates of A. Right, so pause the video here, attempt to answer as many of the questions as possible. And from there you can follow us through as we solve the solutions. Right, if you're not sure of it, just look through the solutions and come back and attempt it again. You do it at least 3 to 4, max 5 times. If you can do it 5 times without the error, it's in your head, you know it. That's how we used to practice maths. Right, so for 3.1, calculate the gradient of DC. So we know D is 3 and -9. And C is -9 and 0. Right, I've color coded it to make sure we select from the right side. So their gradient DC is y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So you see y2 and x2, I've ensured they stay blue, and y1 and x1 stay purple. So many times you write the right equation, but you'll substitute the values wrong. So you see there, I should know in every coordinates, x comes first, then y, x, then y, which I assume you know. But when you're stressed and in a rush, you'll make simple errors and you'll substitute the y in the place of x and x in the place of y. So there on the top, -9 minus 0. Then 3 minus -9, which then gives me +12 at the bottom and -9 on top. We simplify, 3 goes in 9 3 times, 3 goes in 12 4 times, so my gradient is -3 over 4. So 1 mark for correct substitution and another mark for the correct value. 3.2, determine equation of DC in the form y equal mx plus c. So we already have the gradient there from the top, so m there becomes -3 over 4x plus c. Right, on the line DC, I have the coordinates of C and D. I can choose any one of the two to substitute in to find the C value, which is here. Right, so I chose -9 and 0. So this states that y is 0 when x is -9. Negative times negative become positive. 3 times 9 gives me 27 over 4. But if I take that positive across, it becomes -27 over 4 for C. So therefore my equation now reads y equal -3 over 4x minus 27 over 4. Right, so I hope you follow up to here. Let's go look at the next questions. 3.3 says show that k equal -6. Remember gradient DC was equal to -3 over 4. C and B are collinear, meaning they are on the same line as DC. So therefore I can say now k minus 0 minus 1 minus -9 must equal -3 over 4 if I substitute. K minus 0 is K minus 1 plus 9. 9 minus 1 gives me 8. From there, K equal 3 times 8, or negative 3 times 8 divided by 4. Negative 24 divided by 4 gives me negative 6. So 1 mark there for correct substitution. The answer was already given, so we can't give you a mark for finding the answer. Right, now calculate the length of DC. So it's straightforward. We still remember T is 3 and negative 9. C is negative 9 and 0. Using distance formula, TC equals square root x2 minus x1 all squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. Right, so from here my x3 minus 9 and minus 9 minus 0 for my y values. So that gives me 3 plus 9 is 12 squared, which is 144. Minus 9 squared, 81. 144 plus 81 gives me 225. And square root of 225 gives me 15. We didn't give any units, SI units or centimeters, meters. So then we have to write the word units. So this is 15 units long for DC. Right, let's go to the next slide. Right, 3.5, they say calculate the ratio of TB over TC. Remember, we already got TC in the previous problems as 15 units. Now we just need the length of TB. Right, so T is 3 and negative 9, and P, which we solved, is minus 1 and negative 6 now. Right, so there, if we substitute in 3 minus 1, minus 9 minus 6. So 3 plus 1 gives me 4 squared, which is 16. Minus 9 plus 6 gives me minus 3. Minus 3 squared gives me 9. 9 plus 16, 25. And the square root of 25 equals 5 units. 1 mark for that. So now if we write it as a ratio, TB is 5. TC from the previous problem we solved was 15. 5 goes itself once, goes in 15 3 times. We always simplify a fraction to its simplest form, and we have 1 over 3. And that's where you get your second mark. Now 3.6, they say if M is a point on AD such that AC is parallel to MB. So they have put in the M, right? I should put it there, but yeah, it just wouldn't look right. So I might just shifted it a little bit just to show you the concept. So those two lines are parallel. So if those two lines are parallel, automatically, according to the proportionality theorem, AM over MD must equal CB over BD. Or AD over MD must equal AC over BD. Short over long or short over short. Right, so there, TM over TA, TM over TA, short over long must equal short, which is TB over TC. Which in this case, remember TB over TC there was 1 over 3. So according to prop theorem, they both then equal to 1 over 3. Now we take area of triangle MBD, right? We have a half, right? My base there would be TM, and my height would be TB. Times, not height, or half TM TB sine T. So we're going to use that as a area rule, use the sine angle in between. Alright, so there have we taken this two sides over each other. And then I have TA long side times TC sine D. So the smaller triangle TM times TB sine D. Then the bigger triangle TA times TC over sine D. Two sides and the angle in between the two sides, right? Half and half cancel. Sine D and sine D would cancel. TM over TA, there you can see is 1 over 3. TB over TC is 1 over 3. So 1 over 3 times 1 over 3. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 3 is 9. So 1 mark there for noting that the two are both equal to 1 over 3. 1 mark for correct use of the area rule. I almost went half base times height, just to realize later on it's sine. And there, understanding that they both equal to 1 over 3. And then 1 mark for 1 over 9. Right, so hope you follow, hope you understand. Let's look at the last problems. 3.7. If it's further given that the gradient of AD is -4, the length of AD is 612, calculate the coordinates of A. So they've given us gradient for AD and length of AD, so it's the same line. Therefore, we're going to use simultaneous equations to solve. So gradient AD -4, so to get AD, if A is X and Y and D is 3 and -9, then that would read Y minus 9, X minus 3 equal -4. Y plus 9, negative times negative, positive 9, -4 times the denominator, X minus 3. Minus 4 times X gives me minus 4X, minus 4 times -3 plus 12. If I bring plus 9 over, it becomes -9. So I have minus 4x plus 12 minus 9. 12 minus 9 gives me 4x plus 3. So now I have equation for y, where y is the subject to the formula. Go to the distance formula given, AD. That there would be square root. Remember, x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So that would read x minus 3 all squared, y minus 9 all squared. Right, so that there, get rid of the square root, so I square both sides. It becomes x minus 3 squared, y plus 9 all squared equals 612. Right, now you see there I have two variables, x and y, or two unknowns. So I have to get rid of one of the unknowns. So in the place of y, I place minus 4x plus 3. Right, plus 9 equals 612. So I'm left with x minus 3 squared plus minus 4x plus 12 squared equals 612. So up to here, most learners get it right, but then they get caught out. For some odd reason, we love testing, squaring a binomial, and learners forget the middle term. So please don't forget the middle term. So what I mean is x times x, x squared. X times -3 gives me -3x, times 2 gives me -6x. -3 times -3 gives me positive 9. -4x times -4x would give me positive 16x squared. -4x times 12 gives me -48x. If I multiply that, 2 times 2 gives me -96x, therefore my middle term. 12 times 12 gives me 144. If I simplify, 16x squared plus x squared gives me 17x squared. Minus 96x minus 6x would give me minus 102x. 9 plus 144 would give me 153. Minus 612 gives me minus 459 equals 0. Common factor there, 17 can divide in everything. So 17 divided by 17, 1. 102 divided by 17 gives me 6. And 459 divided by 17 gives me 27. Factors of 27 that add up to 6. Minus 9 plus 3 would give me -6. But minus 9 times positive 3 gives me -27. X squared can only be x and x. So if I simplify, x equal 9 or x equal -3. Now A is in the second quadrant, so x can't be positive. So therefore that answer is not applicable. We're working with x equal -3 there. So I substitute back here in y, -4 minus 3 plus 3. That gives me positive 12 plus 3, which is 15. So coordinates of A there would be -3 and 15. Right, so I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope you're going to continue practicing all these problems we've done. You're going to do them over and over till you stop making an error. Remember, you're doing this for yourself. Do it for yourself, continue practicing, master the content. I know you can. Right? Now it looks like hard work, but it's not. End of the day, you will reap the benefits of it. God bless. Bye.